burden of Damascus. Behold, Damascus is taken away from being a city, and it shall be a ruinous heap. That is from Isaiah 17. Of course, we've also heard the very infamous words that Israel will be wiped off the map, according to Iran's President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad not too long ago. And we continue to hear this rhetoric. Donald Trump, of course, bombed both Iraq and Syria precisely just 2 days ago, at a time when the mainstream media is telling us there's peace.
You have to. What it? Okay. No, I understand.
There doesn't seem to be peace. There only seems to be war. As direct retaliation for U.S. airstrikes that hit both Iraq and Syria over the weekend, the U.S. Embassy in Iraq has allegedly been attacked by Iranian.
Okay, I got you. So, the United States has already ran, quote, fully responsible for the attacks on the U.S. Embassy. He says Iran has orchestrated an attack on Iran embassy in Iraq, and they will be held fully responsible, according to his official Twitter account. This tweet came after dozens of angry Shiite supporters stormed the U.S. Embassy compound in Baghdad, shouting, quote, "Down, down, USA," like 311. Direct protests followed deadly airstrikes, killed 25 fighters of the Iranian-backed missile in Iraq, carried out in retaliation for what Trump says was the killing of American contractors. So what is clear is that this is perpetual, endless war. There is no peace. ISIS hasn't been defeated, and the United States, America, military and industrial complex is not reneging on the U.S. forces in these parts of the world. In fact, we're dropping more bombs. In fact, the first order of business with Donald John Trump when he was elected was to bomb Syria. In fact, he was sitting next to the Chinese premier half the time, and they were eating chocolate cake as those airstrikes were led by the newly elected 45th president of the United States. Also, earlier this morning, Donald John Trump was called to armed resurrection of the Iraqi population. It's pretty incredible. Think about it. He says this. He says in his Twitter feed, quote, "To those many millions of people in Iraq who want freedom and you don't want to be dominated by and controlled by Iran, this is your time. This is your time." This, end quote, following an armed resurrection in Iraq and a coup. So, it's pretty interesting considering that Trump's mom is completely zipped up. By the way, I support the president of the United States. Jesus is king! And his lips are completely zipped with the with the pro-democracy contest. At the same time, this guy talks freaking fast, doesn't he? I believe it's a sign to be a farce. It's a trade deal with China. Now, let's get this straight. If this is a deal with China, it'll be a very weak, very weak, watered-down, weak deal. So let me get this straight. Donald Trump is negotiating this country with China that is closely allied with Iran and Russia and is holding war games, with Navy games right now as we speak. Who is against the pro-democracy contest in Hong Kong? They're fighting for their lives and their survival. At the same time, Donald John Trump, in not just Syria, but also Iraq, of course. Thanks, Daddy. I know, I'm doing good, ain't I? Thanks. The whole Damascus is taken away from being a city. This is where I read a Bible, like I pretend like I read it. So not only was it according to the biblical text of prophesy. What's that? Oh, hold on. Yes.
Also, CBN News reports Iran joins forces with Russia and China to send strong message to the United States. Iran, Russia, and China held joint naval drills in the Indian Ocean and Gulf of Oman this weekend. So this is perfect timing, of course, that Trump would bomb during the Navy drills. Let's not forget that we all...
Okay, yeah, gotcha. So after the missile, with impunity, day after day, month after month, without any intervention by the United States at all. Because after all, Kim Jong-un is closely tied in with as an ally to not just China, but also Iran. And very much acts as a proxy as Chinese regime. Are you going to get over or are you not going to get over? I'll let you over if you want to get over. It'll be used specifically to pump the stock market before the largest dump we've ever seen in arguably the last civilization. And that's my humble opinion, of course. We're going to be in a roaring 2020s, of course. Bailouts, trillions of dollars worth of funny money and interest rates at zero and negative at other parts of the world have spawned the largest inflationary hyper bubble that we've ever seen. And it will come to an abrupt end. Donald Trump also tweeted earlier, I'll be signing a very large comprehensive phase 1 trade deal with China on January 15th. He wants you to just know that it's not just a trade deal, it's a really large hoo-ha, like a hoo-ha. It's kind of not funny. The language is funny. It's not just a deal. It's a, you're a douchebag, all right? The bankers are scumbags. He bombs these countries. The ceremony, it'll take place at the White House, both the White House and China. Both the Hong Kong, they'll be right there now, and the president, and then in a later date, they'll be going to Beijing where it talks phase 2. So there's no deal. It's lies. It's phony. It's like me. I pretend I don't listen to my earpiece that I've already read off. That way I can just hear myself talk. I told you it was easy to do. All you got to do is just listen to yourself and regurgitate your words. So right after 9/11, post 9/11, where this guy revealed that Iran, Syria, Lebanon, Somalia, Sudan, and of course Iran as the final biblical target, like second Pecco to the 9/11, the second one. All at war, it's going to officially reign, and it brings in the end times prophecy before many believers believe to be the turn or returning Jesus Christ. Of course, the events you read about that are in Revelations that are in the New Testament. Also, Donald Trump allegedly warned Vladimir Putin that a pending terror attack that Russia is not nice, because we're talking to intelligence agencies, and can a warden stop the terror attacks in other countries than into the United States? But we got caught with the pants down 9/11. They took down 2 very large World Trade Centers. But did you just make me say that we took down 2 large, we got our pants caught down with 9/11? Oh, daddy. Anyway, a missile people thought hit the Pentagon because it wasn't a plane, it was a missile, according to many of our general state, whoever, the media, they'll tell you that. It's nice to know that intelligence, U.S. intelligence agencies, and the elect white hats here in the United States, black hats, of course, are working on impeaching the president of the United States. But the white hats they're able to reform Mother Russia, and depending on any attack. And I would read the damn script, but he has it in frickin' Italian. I don't know, I can't read Italian, so now I have to do this. Are we living in end times? Are these the set biblical events leading off into the war in Iran? And I can't keep up with you. Is Damascus not already a ruinous heap? Has the Iranian leadership not called for wiping Israel off the map? And is Donald Trump not having very itchy and bold trigger finger as he's continually to bomb not just Syria but now Iraq? But at the same time, saying he's bringing troops home, but instead, he's actually sending them to the Middle East. Again, this is perpetual war. Hold on. I'm just going to have to slow you down a little bit there. I'm going to just slow you down 1.25, all right? Because, man, you don't even give me a chance to catch my breath. Oh, crap. Why did I put it? I put him faster. I can't do that. I'll never catch up with you then. I meant 0.75. It's never ended, folks. More world wars coming. And if you read and study your history and the Holy Bible, you'll understand that what is next is a biblical event of global proportions and a world conflict. I'm Christopher Green. This Amtv. Hard hitting your face. Click the link below. The Lincoln below field over there. God bless. All right. Jesus Christ is King. Fine. Good evening, I'm Tucker Carlson. Tonight, one of the reasons that they say they hate Donald Trump is because they say he lies a lot. Trump will tell you he's a committed liar, and in fact, a veteran one. To prove the point that he left his Senate bat, he tried to catalog Trump's dishonesty with some kind of precision that he would normally associate with obsessed baseball fans or immature bird watchers. Or as last month, according to the Washington Post, Donald Trump has made a total 13,435 false leading misstatements while in office. As the Post, I'm supposed to act like I'm reading, but I'm not. Like, there's that trick too. They are deeply offended, the Washington. Here's a picture of the crowd. Now, the audience was the biggest thing, and the crowd. Look at that crowd. Look at that crowd. We're not going to lie to you. Yeah, right. That was untrue. The back. What? We lied. That wasn't true. Why did the president claim that it was? I mean, that's because of who he is. Donald Trump is a salesman. He's a talker. He's a boaster. He's a booster. A compulsive self-promoter. At times, he's a full-blown BS artist. I mean, if Trump hadn't got lynched in real estate, he could never made a fortune selling cars. Most people know this. It's obvious. It's transparent, really. So, is lying really the reason why the left despises Donald Trump? Or could the problem be, as is so often the case, the exact opposite of what they claim it is? Think back over the last 4 years. When has we ever seen the CNN anchors been angriest? Was it when Donald Trump told them some whopper or exaggerated his own accomplishments? No. They're used to that kind of lying. Everyone spending their time around politicians is used to lying. What infuriates an officials in Washington is not when Donald Trump lies. It's when he tells the truth, which is truth, which is the real threat to their power. We just went to a commercial. Ford EcoSport? EcoSport has more horsepower than the Journey. It keeps you connected with LG 4TL Wi-Fi up to 10 devices. And it has a large touchscreen than the other car that we're bashing. It has a unique swing gate, it's the boldest, cargo ready. It's the smallest SUV, but it's good at what you want. The new Ford EcoSport. I want my paycheck. Next. What is this, a silent? I gotta read now? Do you know the plan to vote for 2020? I gotta drive too. Come on! Do you know the plan for new 2020? If so, press the button here. Donald Trump. Okay, we're back. There's no spoken agreement among the people that are in charge of our country, so let's talk about what's happening to it. They are personally implicating, it's declining, for one thing. Often they're profiting from it. The last thing they want is a national conversation about what went wrong. So they maintain an increasingly strict policies of mandatory reality avoidance. Everything's fine, they shout, as something's rising, and diversity is just shut up, or we'll hurt you. But Trump won't shut up. He keeps talking. That's his crime. That's why they hate him. It started with his very first speech as presidential candidate They're sending people that have lots of problems. They're bringing problems with them, is what he's saying to President Trump. President Trump's telling them they're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people, but now Trump didn't claim that everyone coming over the southern border is a criminal, but some are. That's true. And precisely because it is true, you were absolutely under no circumstances allowed to say it. Acknowledging it is not every illegal alien that comes over to America raises a question. If your legal immigration has a downside, then why has Washington allowed so much of it? If the people are in charge and actually cared about it, they would protect our borders, but they don't care. This is what Christopher Green has done, whose names we don't even know for certain, streaming from abroad using our services and our wages, and they're scumbags because they commit crimes and they read scripts like the CNN newscast. They're reading scripts. We don't read scripts here at Amtv Live. Trump, they said Trump was somehow attacking the masses, but actually he was attacking them, the gatekeepers in our national media. The people who should have been sounding the alarm like us, but instead made common thoughts with the ruling class, and they're supposed to be keeping everything honest, but our system's rotten, it's corrupt, and the news media is a major reason why that is. That's what Donald Trump pointed out. And not surprisingly, they despised him for doing it. Ask yourself, what's a bigger scandal to your average journalist? The fact that homicide, MS-13 actors fled in this country and they're terrorizing people with their antics and their crisis acting, or the possibility that someone might complain about that? Well, you don't need to guess the answer. It's just because last year Donald Trump dared complain. He complained about MS-13, or did he complain or did not complain? I forgot what he did. Oh, he refers to them as animals. He always will too. Now keep in mind that the motto of MS-13 is kill, rape, control, scare, act, shoot, go into churches, they shoot, whatever. Who even knows what MS-13 even is, or what they even do? They've received far less media attention than Donald Trump's criticism of the gang. Murdering the people with knives might be bad, but assaulting illegal aliens with murders is moral hierarchy of Washington. Look, am I hired? I mean, sorry, I forgot. I'm sorry, I didn't. Look, I'm a rookie, okay? This is only my third time trying this. Am I hired? I can easily regurgitate. It would be easier if I did it myself, if I just read my own script, then I could just listen to it. And then, wow, man, you can act like you're anybody, right? I mean, if you have all the words ready for you, and the only thing you have to do is repeat what you heard in your ear, you got the job? Oh man. Do people go to like college for this? Do they take courses in how to pretend to not read? How to pretend that their eyes aren't reading that piece of paper there or the scroll? And then do you also pretend that you're not listening to an earpiece? So you have this whole script written for you. You can read a script for a half hour straight on it, like an episode, and just play your role. When it's time to push the little button, you click, and then it plays and stop when you need to play and stop, and you have your, like, you say you got 8 episodes in a half hour series, and you have your you have it divided in 8 sections of your little click button there, and you got like 8 scenes, and you just talk, you know, 8 different scenes, and you talk with that, and I'm running out of time, so, and I'm running out of time, so, not good, Robin. Man, they get paid millions of dollars to just read and put a camera in your face. Look, I'll do it for free. Just if I could just write checks to other people, but you got to free up my time first, of course. If I can write checks to other people and that sets them for life, just give me the checkbook.